Hi, my name is Noor and I'm an author for the Medcuator Health Sciences Journal. Today I'm going to be talking about an article I wrote about the ethics of short-term medical service trips. Short-term medical service trips involve students, usually with minimal to no medical training, traveling abroad to gain healthcare experience and improve the health of a host community, often in a low or middle income country. They can be arranged by charities, for-profit businesses, as well as universities. Medical service trips are often marketed to students as both charitable missions and learning opportunities. Unfortunately, a lot of practices involved within directly oppose principles of biomedical ethics. Take the autonomy of host communities, for example. Medical service trips can potentially empower patients in low-income countries to become more autonomous by exchanging information and donating goods and services. This would ideally allow these communities to make more informed decisions about their health without having to worry as much about resource limitations. At the same time, organizations running these trips make decisions about the location and length of the trip, the type of care being provided, and the volunteers who attend the trip without consulting the community. This actually takes away some of the community's autonomy, so you end up with an opposite effect than intended. Because of the limited time, training, and cultural competence of volunteers, they are unlikely to provide continuous care to patients or improve the long-term health of the host community. Medical service trips usually last less than a month and involve short, one-time patient visits from volunteers with almost no background in the healthcare challenges or the culture of the country they're visiting. On the flip side, because host communities are usually in desperate need of help, at the very least, these trips seem unlikely to result in a net harm. But what we've seen is that they can result in harm to communities by putting patients' health at risk and disrupting the community's existing healthcare system. Volunteers are sometimes pressured to carry out procedures they aren't trained to do. We've also seen that residents of host communities sometimes avoid local healthcare providers to see the volunteers, who provide free services. This disrupts the local healthcare system and results in patients delaying their care until the next trip arrives. Volunteers, who are usually there to learn, can also take away training opportunities from local students, leading to a shortage of healthcare providers and weakening the local healthcare system. It's true that volunteers donate time and resources to improve the condition of the healthcare system in the host community, which should help bridge the gap between healthcare standards in high and low-income countries. At the same time, medical service trips may support structures of social injustice by implying that low-income countries are deserving of a lower quality of care because almost always care delivered by volunteers on medical service trips is well below the standard of care in the volunteer's own country. What I want readers to take away is that medical service trips shouldn't be considered inherently ethical simply because they're acts of charity. As we've seen, they can infringe on the autonomy of patients, promote lower standards of care for low-income countries, and perpetuate global health inequity. This isn't to say that medical service trips are unethical by definition, but we do need to take a careful look at how they're run and what changes we can make so they're more aligned with ethical principles. If you'd like to learn more about the ethics of medical service trips, check out issue 32 of the Medcuator, now available across campus. Thanks for watching.